Hello and welcome to Thinking Outside the Pod, episode 59.
59, that is one less than 60.
We're getting there.
I know, hey, we're learning this math thing. I learned about this thing called subtraction after last episode.
Yeah,
it's the same thing as addition, but backwards.
We're learning ourselves and we're teaching y'all.
I know, oh man.
So you're welcome,
Learn
audience.
that.
Yeah.
Very important stuff. Hopefully you know it. If not, well, you just learned.
Yeah, you just got learnt.
Learned. Oh, is that what the kids are calling it nowadays?
Yeah, I'm pretty down with the slang. I'm down with the
pop culture, I guess. I don't know.
The hashtags of the youth culture. I know it all. The YOLOs, all the YOLOs and everything. I guess people still say. Are people still using YOLO? I mean, I know like in a joke, but I mean, like seriously, are people still using YOLO? I hope not. I think it's gone the way of being a joke.
I mean, the only time I'll use YOLO is like if I'm playing online and I do something completely stupid. I'll just be like, you know what, fuck it, YOLO, and dive in the middle of a bunch of shit and just be like, all right, that didn't work out, but hey, it was,
yeah. I mean, the only time I use it is as a joke. Like if someone they're just saying like ridiculous things and like, oh, might as well just jump off this roof, YOLO, or something like just dumb and just
something
random.
Stupid, yeah.
I hope it's not. I don't know. Like I was kidding earlier when I said I'm down with the culture, so I don't know what.
Yeah, hell yeah. We are probably the least culturally knowledgeable people.
Yeah, it's kind of we're. I guess I don't want to say we're getting too old, but I guess the kids.
Necessarily. I just don't think that's our stuff. I mean, because what drives me nuts is when people say "lol" out loud. Like when you actually say it, not even LOL, you just say "lol." Yeah. I'm like, oh my god, just please, stop.
There's a comedian that was talking about that in one of his stand-up things, and he was saying, whenever it gets to that point in culture where he's doing his comedy stand-up thing, and the audience just, instead of laughing, just goes lol, lol. That's the day he quits.
Yeah, it's like done. That's, I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
our culture is degraded that much. I mean, it's like, come on,
Yeah, I mean, that'd be funny if like we find some like text from some author like way back when, and they predicted all this stuff.
Or no, what would be even funnier is if we go back to like Robert Frost times or whatever, and then you see like one of his letters, and just in the middle of it says LOL. And you're like, oh my god, it's been back since that long. You're like, whoa.
There's
just like a single letter, and all it says is LOL on it.
It's sent back. LOL.
It took him months just to say LOL.
Yeah, and then at the end it's like. With all the admiration in my heart, and then like sign their name and everything, but just lol. My dearest friend and comrade for 50 years, lol. Bye.
For those of you who don't know, what we were talking about is mailing as an old form of communication before the internet and stuff, where you had to write with what is called a pencil. Just like one of these guys, I'm holding it to the camera, so you guys who are listening to us can't see it.
Hold it up to the microphone as well. Yeah, there you go.
That's the sound of a pen hitting my mic. But you'd write, you'd put the letter in an envelope, and then you'd stick the address on it, and then some guy would come pick it up and take it over there.
I've never mailed a letter. I've mailed like bills and like stuff like that, like school stuff maybe at some point. But actually a letter that I've written out and sent.
Thank you letters. That's what I've sent a couple of those out.
No.
I was forced to do it. I was like, I have to say thank you to their face. So I'm like, I understand the formality of it, but it's kind of a cultural thing. That's more of a like my parents' thing was definitely always send out a formal letter. With me, it's like I'll say thank you to them. I'd rather just say them or call them or send them a text or something.
Yeah, I've never really been in a position to do a thank you letter. I mean, I've only been in like one interview that I didn't get the job in. Yeah. And I don't think I sent them a thank you email. Yeah. Even though it's even less formal and probably
that's kind of
frowned upon, but whatever.
I don't think not nowadays. Not so much anymore. I think nowadays, sending something like that perfectly. I would be okay with it. I don't know how other people are. I think it depends on who you're sending it to.
Yeah, if they're
a little bit more old-fashioned, then definitely you'd want to send a thank you letter
as opposed to an email.
But if they're kind of a little bit younger and stuff like that, or at least tech savvy or whatever you want to call it, then I think it'd be perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, it was for like a tech position, so I think it was fine. I mean, I didn't get the job, so maybe it wasn't. Maybe they were offended by it. But,
he sent us a thank you email. Oh, that's no good.
What is this? What is this jerk?
No, but I've done that a few times when I'd go talk to somebody, I'd send them an email saying, hey, thank you for your time, blah blah blah. If you want to contact me, here's my information, yada, that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, like for the interviews and stuff that we do here, I send always a little follow-up email thanking them and everything.
Sure.
So yeah, I've done the emails, but actually sending a letter, like getting an envelope, getting a stamp and all that kind of stuff, I've never sent that to anybody. I mean, I've sent packages to like family. Yeah. But that not really a letter.
It's the same. It's pretty much the same process.
I guess it is.
I mean, it's exactly the same process, just much smaller.
Yeah, more expensive for the weight and everything. But yeah. So I guess I was like, we're like the last generation where that's kind of becoming. I guess it's kind of outdated now.
We know about it. It was around when we were kids, but it kind of slowly started to die out as internet and communication and all that good stuff happened. Because now it's like, hey, you don't even have to get to a computer anymore. You just have it in your phone, or just other devices and stuff. Pretty much everything can send a message.
Yeah, it's. I like it. I hate. I've said this multiple times in the podcast before, but I hate when people, like older generations, say that it's bad. I think it's good. It's bad in some ways, maybe, but I think overall it's skewed positive.
It's like everything. There's pluses and minuses to everything. You can't just look at it as just purely bad or purely good. It's you can make an argument for either way. Yeah. So I mean, like we've talked about before, like with internet and stuff like that. Yes, we are more connected in the sense that it's like I can get information from another country a lot easier than before, because now we don't have to, send it across the airways. We don't have to use broadcasts. We don't have to use all that stuff. I can just go to the internet, I Google it real quick, and hey, there we go. Now I have information about, Japan or France or something like that.
But on the flip side, we don't know our neighbors, like that kind of thing. Like
now it's like, why should I go talk to them when I can just text them? That's a lot more convenient, and I'm more, most people are already staring at their damn phones about 90% of the time anyway. So
I assume, like, whenever like that was like a big thing, I think people are like sugarcoating it these days. Like they're saying, yeah, but now we don't know our neighbors, we don't have like a local community. I think that's sugarcoating it, because I think a lot of those people hated each other probably. Yeah. Like they're like, because you don't.
Was it always? Yeah. Was it really that good? I mean,
like you can't pick your neighbors, like, but like in an online community, of course you can pick your neighbors because you're all going to this one place
for common interest.
Whatever, your common interest.
It'd be like going to a club as like a interest club or whatever. Because it's like everybody's there because they like whatever the club is about. So. So you're like, okay, at least you'll have something in common with them. I mean, you're still going to have a few people that are just like, okay, they're just too weird for me. But that's any social group, though. You're always going to have like that one or two people that you're just like, I just don't like them. Yeah. It's like no offense to them, I just don't like them. Yeah. Or maybe offense to them. I don't know. It depends on how bad you don't like them.
Yeah. No, true. So yeah, I think so. I think that's more the case. I just think that they don't like change. Yeah. That's, I think, the biggest thing for me.
Sure, and then for us, when a new thing comes out, we're going to be like, oh, man, remember those days where we had to sit there and text? You're like, where we actually had to, push buttons to
you couldn't just text. You couldn't just think it.
We're going to be like, those are the days. We're like, screw this. What? I could talk to somebody in my mind? You're like, what is this crap?
I was there before the days of cybernetic implants. That's going to be, where we had to actually open up an app and type with our fingers.
Oh man, we actually had to do stuff. I mean, this is getting into like we're getting into Wall-E territory there, where we're just gonna be fat and just on like hover carts or whatever, and everything's done for us by robots or whatever.
We just always say those kids have it too good. We used to have to type our interactions both ways in the snow. I don't know.
That's what old people nowadays say. Yeah, I had to walk uphill both ways
in the snow,
2 miles just to get to school. I'm like, all right. Well,
okay. Well, too bad. Sorry.
Yeah, sucks for you. We've got cars now and all that good stuff. So too bad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's I understand the trouble you went through, but the world it changes. Things change, so for the better. So, but yeah. So a little bit.
All right. So actually, that was
a little bit of a.
Already off the bat, we're already going way the hell off topic. We haven't even got to the topic yet, so I guess that's a good start of an episode.
We'll let's skew back into topic. Last week there was a couple things I was looking forward to.
Okay. Yeah.
One of the biggest things I was looking forward to were some TV shows that are coming out.
Yes.
And Daredevil came out, and Game of Thrones. Those were the two biggest things. Game of Thrones, the first episode of season 5. Okay. I know last week we thought it may have been 7 or 8 or something like that. But
are they only on 5? Wow, that's pretty. I thought there was. I got. That shows you how much I pay attention to.
Yeah. Well, no, me too. I didn't know it at all. But
was each season about 13 episodes? I mean, or is it a little bit less?
I think around there. Okay. I think this season's only going to have 8.
Yeah, I was going to say, because usually about somewhere between like 8 and 13 is usually standard. I mean, because with an hour-long... it's an hour-long show, right? Yeah. So that may be a little bit less then. But
Yeah. But yeah, so the first episode was just going to be released the 10th, so what is that? Oh, no, the 12th. No, today. When was it? Yeah, it was supposed to be... Today's Sunday. Okay, yeah. So yesterday, we're releasing this on Monday. So yesterday, the first episode was supposed to be released, but the big news was at midnight of last night, 4 episodes were leaked. Four quality episodes were leaked on through different portals, different channels of questionable legality or whatnot. But whatever. But yeah, 4 episodes were leaked. I didn't do it. I benefited from it because I've seen now half the season. Yeah. They got leaked. Some, I don't know. There's not a story behind it yet. I don't know if there ever will be a story behind it. It just
hide it.
Just got leaked. But yeah, I think that kind of thing is going to be more and more common in the future.
It has been.
Yeah.
Well, because when you think of it, I think way back in the day, probably the first movie that was leaked was Star Wars Episode 1. And ironically, it was I think it was the first digitally released movie, and I think it was leaked before it came out, if I remember right.
Episode 1.
Episode 1, yeah.
Okay, the
reboot, whatever, the second trilogy.
Yeah.
From what I remember, I think that movie was leaked before it came out.
Oh, really?
It was literally the first digital movie that came out.
Oh, wow.
Well, because when you think of it, that was before they kind of knew, because that was new way of distributing it, so they had no idea.
So the security was still in its infancy as well. So yeah, and we had.
But don't quote me on that. I think if I remember correctly, I mean that's knowledge from years ago.
Fisher knows that's the.
For all we know, I could just be pulling out my ass. I could be remembering. I could be misremembering. But it makes sense. We'll at least leave it at that. It's plausible.
Yeah,
whether or not it's true or not, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I'm not an accredited source, so.
So it's going to be more and more common, and
half a season though, geez.
Yeah, 4 episodes were already released. I was like, oh, let's check this site, and it's it's available. What?
4 episodes.
I was like, oh, okay. Well, they released it in increments.
Yeah.
So it was first episode, and an hour later, there's the couple others.
Well, but still, either way, I mean, still, before it even, because that was before it even aired on television, right?
Yeah, so. Yeah. I was waiting for it because it was probably going to be shown today.
Yeah.
At prime time, whenever prime time is, and then I was like, okay, so
because it airs on what, HBO or AMC?
HBO is.
I guess so. I guess if it has boobs and sex and all that stuff,
yeah.
I guess it has to be on HBO.
AMC right after Walking Dead. Oh god, kids, turn it off. But yeah, so it was going to be shown about the time we're recording this probably, and I was like, okay, and it's probably going to be available online the next day at a decent quality. So I was like, okay, I'll get to see it then, or maybe I'll get to see it pretty tonight at some point. Yeah. But then I looked and I was like, oh wow, so now I've seen half the season already, and it sucks, I guess, for them because now people have seen
half of it,
a month and a half of its programming already.
Well, to be honest, I wonder how many people actually know about it, because it's one of those has there been any big stories on it being leaked? Because until there's big stories of it being leaked, I think thinking outside the pod is breaking the news right now. I know.
No,
we're first one on the scene. Woo-hoo, breaking news.
No, I've seen maybe not big news stories, but I've seen headlines of it because during the research for finding stuff for this episode, I've seen it out there. So it is out there, but I'm sure it's going to be big news. I mean, I think Game of Thrones had already been like the most pirated show ever.
Yeah.
Like it's already #1, but now it's like.
Well, when you think of it, it's in their best interest to pretty much just try to keep it as little. Fortunately, we're going against what the creators want because we're telling you that it's out on the internet. We're not telling we're not saying go download it, but
we won't tell you where. But
yeah, because you would think you'd want to, because if you make big giant news stories, people will go, oh, it's online. Let me go look it up real quick. And go, hey, there it is. All right, now I'm going to download it and watch it.
So it might be that I don't know what HBO's like if it does get out there. Mainstream, will they just release the 4 episodes like on their sites and stuff?
I would think that would be in their best interest, would be to stick it on, so then they have an actual legitimate way that they can make a little bit of extra money off of it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
How the Sony hack, the maybe North Korean Sony hack or whatever, with the interview.
Yeah.
Sony was like, okay, the movie's probably going to get leaked any day soon, so let's just release it online early, so we can get something out of the deal.
And that was actually pretty smart of them. Mm-hmm. I was impressed that they did that. Mm-hmm. They just went ahead and just released it online, which I think that's like I said when we were talking about that, I think that's going to be. I would like to see movies like that being released online, at least maybe for rental before, even before they come out theaters. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
for me, I'd rather,
watch it in your.
I mean, sometimes, yeah, because the unfortunate thing with watching it at home is, when you're in a movie theater, that's all you can do. Just watch the movie, so you're a little bit more invested in it. Where at home, you're just like, bird outside,
Open up new tab and just watch something else. Yeah, I love going to the movies. But it's getting to be more and more of a hassle.
Yeah.
So I would hate to see that movie theaters go away.
They won't go away.
But I think
it's too big.
It's
too big of a business. It's too big of a business for it to just disappear. Mm-hmm. It'll become less than what it is now, or it'll change. For all you know, what could happen is instead of having a big giant theater for a bunch of people, you have a lot smaller theaters, and then you have a much wider selection of. Mm-hmm. Because that would be pretty cool. You get like a little, maybe a 6-seat little theater or whatever. It's just a projector and a decent sized screen or whatever. Because that would be awesome. Because because one of my big dreams has always been I wanted to rent out a movie theater, plug it like a PlayStation or something in there, and just play off of the big giant movie projector.
And I know someone that I didn't get to see it or anything, but I've heard that they actually do that. They play like Super Smash Brothers or something on like a huge.
That'd be awesome. You're like, oh my god, the character's bigger than I am. I can actually see what's going on.
I used to work at an electronics store, and one of the salesmen there brought their game console to one of the theater rooms, and it wasn't a huge, of course, movie theater type screen, but it was a big probably maybe about the size of like that. The curtain. I mean, you can't really see it, but
okay.
like
a good 80, 90 inch.
Screen. A big projector screen, and it had like 6 or 8 like theater seats, and they had their Xbox in there, and it was behind the wall, behind where the projector is, but it was wireless controllers. Yeah. So he was playing some stuff on there. So it's really cool. I can't even imagine doing it on a huge.
That'd be a sales pitch there. You're just sitting there just playing games. You're like, yeah, look at this. I'm having a great time. You can have a great time too with this thing.
Yeah, I bet if
like that. No, go away. I'm too busy. Yeah. Like what? You want to know about that? TV over there? Go to the internet, you can find it.
Oh, yeah, the window shoppers are the bane of that world. Which I mean, that's the way it is now. Yeah. But yeah, so that got leaked, and so I got to see. I'm happy. They're probably not happy. I'm happy that I got to see it.
Well, now they know you. If you didn't say nothing, they would have known that you've seen it.
Yeah, that's true. But it's out there. I think I'll be fine.
That always makes me wonder. I guess. Because you hear about leaks all the time. Like that's something that's been going more and more, and it's getting harder and harder to tell which ones are actually legitimate, like accidental, like somebody hacked them.
Yeah, you brought that up earlier. Yeah,
because there's definitely probably stuff like the interview. Like I'm pretty sure that wasn't purpose. It's interesting. It's hard to tell. Like I think do I think it was purposely leaked? Probably not.
Yeah, well, because with that whole deal, there was all the emails,
Yeah.
like the personal, like the what's her name and what's his name's emails
Yeah.
that got leaked, and like employees like personal information, financial information got leaked.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably more
Probably one of the few legitimate cases
on like
where it
a
was
malicious like hack and
Yeah.
leak and everything. But yeah, you were saying that maybe some of the other ones.
See, like for like marketing and stuff like that, especially like video games, like quote unquote leaked trailers or whatever, and for movies and stuff like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure that marketing wise, they probably did it on their own.
Yeah.
Like they're like, we're going to do this trailer next week. Oh, hey, look, our trailer came out a week early. Oops, all right. Hey, yeah, we're releasing this thing.
Yeah,
You know?
it probably plays on psychology on some basic level. Like people see it, we're like, oh man, have you seen that new trailer? It got
Yeah, it's
leaked
like,
on
oh,
the
it's
internet.
supposed to come out next week, but I got to see it this week.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so cool. You know.
Yeah, and so yeah, they added up that excitement
Yeah.
for the viewers get to see that, so that's a plus for them. And also the companies like say Lucasfilms for like a new Star Wars trailer or something, they leak it online just like by uploading it to YouTube on some account or they're sending it to someone else to leak some publicity firm or something to do it. That means they don't have to do like this huge big celebration like event.
Yeah.
They don't have to spend money on all that. They get just as much publicity out of it, or plus even maybe more.
Well, when you think of it, what's nice about that is, you know, when you look at it from a publicity standpoint, actually I was going to make a point similar to that. So when you look at it, is you got the initial publicity for that you're going to release the trailer. Now you're getting extra publicity for that your trailer is leaked.
Yeah.
And now people are going to go, now I'm curious, since it's already out, let me go see if I can find it. And then they'll look it up, and then people get more interest in it. Because I watched a video a couple weeks ago talking about like controversy in video games, like with violence and stuff like that. So like your Grand Theft Auto, your Mortal Kombat and stuff. And one of the points that they were making was there are people who get paid to literally pretty much like toss their game into like, you know, like make it controversial. Like they're like they want advocates to fight against this game.
I think I saw the video.
Because it was on GameSpot.
Okay, never mind.
But I think it was on GameSpot before I saw it. But they were talking about it, and it's just like, you know, they purposely create these stories so people get their eyes on it.
Yeah, free publicity. It was a Did You Know Gaming or something like that for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
I saw no, for the Sega Genesis.
Okay.
And they had some Sega whenever they were starting out with the Genesis. They purposely put out games that had some violence in it. There was one that was like Night Terror or something.
Okay.
I can't remember, but it was cheesy looking, but it showed explicit violent scenes, and they got headline news and people on like the news talking about the game.
Yeah.
That's free publicity. Like no publicity is bad publicity.
See, and it's funny because it works. That stuff works because that's actually the only reason why I ever bought Grand Theft Auto, because the first one that I bought, like I'd seen Grand Theft Auto 3, and I kind of played a little bit. I wasn't too interested in it, but then when Grand Theft Auto Vice City came out, like the 3.2 or whatever you want to call it, when that came out, I started seeing more and more news stories about it, and then I was like, okay, now I'm actually really curious because I keep hearing that this game is so bad it's going to corrupt me and stuff like that. Now I'm like, I'm so curious. I'm like, why is this game so bad? You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And so because it was one of those. It was awkward because trying to talk to my mom and be like, yeah, I'm buying this game because I don't know, because everybody keeps talking about it. It sounds like it's a pretty violent, bad game, but now I'm just curious. I'm sitting there having to justify to myself why I'm buying this game. And then I play it, and it's like, it's stupid fun, but it's just like, am I corrupt? No. Am I killing people? No. Am I robbing from people? No. So it's like, it's just, it's one of those of, all of the advocates against violence, chill, it's like people are going to play it. You're just giving them more publicity. You are playing into their hands,
And in some of their points, like, yes, these games aren't for kids. They aren't for children.
That's absolutely right.
There's a rating system for the games specifically for that purpose, to keep kids from buying these. Stop buying them.
It's the responsibility of the parents to police that, not the responsibility of the government,
Yeah, or
to put it quite blunt, why should I care if if some kid gets a hold of this game? It's not my fault. It's like if his parents aren't going to, if they're not going to sit there and watch what their kids are playing, Or if they're not going to take the time to go down and sit down with their kid and say, "Hey, this is fake. You know, this is not reality. You don't do this." Because like my parents, that's what they did with me. It's because I played like Diablo was probably like one of the most mature games at the time that I played when I was a little kid. But you know, my parents, you know, they kept me away from it until, you know, I was like 12, 13 or whatever, when they're, you know, when they knew I was old enough to kind of understand that, okay, that is not reality. You know, that's fake. And you know, it was one of those. So you know, so they took it gently with me. Yeah, they you know, they didn't just, you know, toss, you know, they just go, oh, okay, I don't know what we're, you know, they actually paid attention to what I was, you know, consuming. And so, because for the longest time, my mom didn't want me to watch South Park. You know, I still watched a little bit of it. I never really got into it because at that age, I didn't quite, you know, because that was, heck, when I was like, what, maybe 12 when South Park was around, and I didn't understand why it was funny. You know, I'm just like, you know, so like, what, Hanky the Christmas Poo. I was like, oh, I'm laughing because it's a turd, and that's about it. I'm like, I don't understand anything about it. You know, like now I find it funny for different reasons, but yeah. Like,
yes, and same here. My dad kept me, I think it was like, I keep wanting to say Simpsons, but it could have been South Park. But yeah, not wanting me to watch it, but my mom was just like, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, it's the parent's job to monitor what the kids are watching or playing.
It was funny because with Simpsons, what used to happen is, since we lived overseas, we couldn't get the Simpsons when we were on like Air Force bases and stuff. So my grandma would actually, she'd record it on VHS and she'd send it to us. And so like we'd watch it and stuff. But then whenever Itchy and Scratchy came on, my mom forced my little sister, and she was like, yeah, okay, no, you guys. Go away! Don't watch the segment. She wouldn't let us watch those segments.
Well, I mean, it is pretty violent. Like cats being like cut up and everything.
Yeah,
but,
that's
I mean,
pretty bad.
Yeah,
and that's a good social commentary for, you know. Yeah, there is a lot of that stuff in our media nowadays. I mean, you know, because that's, you know, when you look at our culture, we shun sexual stuff so bad, but violence, we're like, blow people the hell up. I don't care. You know, it's like, whatever. That guy just got blown the hell up. Whatever. But show a nipple. Oh my God, we're freaking out. The kids, you know, mind the kids. Blow it up. That's even better.
You're ruining our youth. But yes, have that murder spree.
Yeah, that guy just got his head chopped off. Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
But nipple. Oh my God. You know, it's just like, it's so weird.
Yeah, and I think that's more. I think in like other countries, it's
backwards.
less it's
sometimes it's backwards. They're more worried about violence, and they're like, sex, whatever. You know, like boobs, whatever. Yeah. Violence, but no, that guy got shot with a gun. That's not good. He lived. He was fine. He's not hurt. He's just like, oh, it hit me. But nope, that's too bad.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's the parents.
Yeah,
and
it's their responsibility.
I mean, that's the biggest thing that the other people on that side of the argument say. It's like, why is it the game company's responsibility, the government's responsibility, when it's your kids and you're allowing that to be seen by them? It's obviously not for them. It shouldn't be seen by them. It's why stop making it? Like, they shouldn't. Game companies shouldn't make it. They're trying to release their product to the.
Because really, the only thing that I think you can make an argument for is not necessarily the game being released, but like more the advertising and stuff like that, like the way the media portrays it and stuff like that. Because what was the game? There's some game that came out, or not. I don't think it's come out yet, but it was. What was the game called? I think maybe like Outrage or something like that. I think it was. But literally, what the game was it was some guy was just pissed off at the world, and literally the game is the guy's going on a mass killing spree just because he's pissed off at the world, and it.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I know, but there's been like Manhunt or something like that. And,
it was kind of in the vein of that. But literally, like, because they released a trailer for it, and you know, I watched it. I was just like, this is just like horrible. I mean, it was just like, it was literally just like a guy just killing innocent people. Didn't matter, cops, people, women, children, whatever. Like, you're just going on just a mass killing spree just because he was just mad at the world or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was the game. And what ended up happening was, for a while, Steam, like, you know, some of the execs said, hey, pull that game the hell off of our, you know, or like, that's too much. But then Gabe Newell, the main guy from Valve, he said, put it back on. You know, he's like, unfortunately, you know, we may not it may not be, artistically agreeable, but they unfortunately have, they do have a right to make that kind of content, and it's up to not us to police it, but to the people who are
the consumers,
who are consuming said product.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't want it, they won't buy it.
Yeah.
But it's not our position to
because
censor.
I assume it gets to like a slippery slope whenever they start doing things like that. Like where's that line? That line will just keep getting pushed. Like, oh, now we gotta anytime there's blood, we gotta pull that game.
Yeah.
Like it'll just get maybe that's a fallacy, like slippery slope fallacy. But
it could
possible.
it could lead to it. It's possible, but who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely. So on the one hand, I don't plan on buying it. It's one of those. Grand Theft Auto I'm okay with because it's making fun of stuff. Like it is there. It's kind of it's satire. I mean, you're doing. You are killing a lot of people. You're running people over, yada yada. But it's not. It is mindless, but it's also satirical. It's making fun of like movies and stuff like that.
And it is, and you're mature enough to realize that.
Yes.
You just Yeah,
that, like I don't go out in my car and go, okay, hey, let me just run over that person on the side, go grab their money, and hop back in my car and run away.
So that's the biggest thing right there. It's like people there at a certain point you are mature enough to consume that stuff without being influenced by it.
Yeah.
Little kids on the other hand maybe not, but like I said, there's practices and policies to stop that, for that not to happen.
Because unfortunately there are people who are, even our age who are, they're too immature to consume it. But that's, unfortunately, there's really not much you can do. I mean, because of, but that's kind of a hard thing because you can't, on the one hand, you're like, should we probably not let them have this content? And you're like, yeah, but unfortunately, we can't do that because then it's, that's censorship and all that stuff. That's taking away their rights. If they want to consume it,
Yeah, and
if it's bad for them, that's their fault, though. That's there's probably something wrong with them. I mean, that's a hard thing to tell, and that's something you can't. Unfortunately, that's taking away rights. So I mean, it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's a
tough one.
It's a very tough thing, because you can't just say you can't buy this game because we think you're crazy. You can't do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's where it kind of where like it's not a cut and dry case.
Yeah.
There are things like circumstances like that and people like that. So,
of course, for people like that, they automatically blame the video games. They don't blame, oh, hey, probably this kid may have been abused and all this other stuff. I mean, people don't just go crazy from just playing video games. There's usually something else to go along with it. But of course, it's always, the buzzword is, oh, hey, this guy played violent video games, therefore that's what drove him nuts. It's not that his parents neglected him or
getting picked on at school.
Or he's getting picked on at school or, stuff like that. I mean, it's not not everything else around it. It's just that one thing because apparently video games are bad for people.
They like this one movie a lot, so that's why they did it. I hate that. Because, I agree. That's you always hear that whenever there's like
every time a new big violent video game comes out.
He was really into Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Okay, and so are billions of other people, but they're not going around doing the same thing.
He's probably just as into like Futurama or My Little Ponies, like, but it's because their interests are varied. Like you might like that violent thing, but you're also gonna like rainbows or whatever it is, like I don't know, things like that. But
you get the point.
But so okay, we got another tangent, but that's fine.
It's a good tangent.
I think I can segue this into the next topic. Daredevil just got released, and it is a very violent show. Like they upped the violence in this series. They released through Marvel, through Netflix. And they released the entire season of it. And I binge watched it. It was just released now another one of those times where I don't remember when it was released. Recently,
sometime within this week, I think.
And I've watched the entire run. I think there was 12 episodes.
See, now we were talking about it earlier, and I had no idea Netflix just released their entire season of a show at a time. I had no idea they did that. You know? Because to me, I'm used to content being released on like a schedule, a fixed schedule, like a weekly schedule, or maybe even a monthly schedule, depending on what the content is. But I didn't. Yeah, I had no idea, and that to me shows that they're catering to the binge watchers. People. Well,
yeah, they understand their audience.
Yeah,
because they do that for like older shows. Yeah, they release the entire thing.
And for older shows, that makes sense to me.
And I think that what they're doing is just carrying over that mindset for their original programming,
and which is a cool idea. You know, I definitely think that's a little bit more progressive than the weekly thing that I'm used to.
But on the other hand, that weekly model, is a good standard because it has a lot of positive. Because for a 12 episode season, if you do it once a week, that's 3 months of subscription service that one person has to do. And if you release it all in 1 month, they can watch their 4 seasons of whatever, and then just go, oh, I'm done. You know, I've binge watched it in 2 weeks now. And the marketing, like you keep people wanting to watch the next episode. You get that marketing for that, and you get people talking about it, because now I've seen the entire season. So like if you start watching it, I'll be like, what part are you on? It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna like what's happened next. And we can't really have a discussion about a certain episode really, because I've seen them all. But they're assuming that a lot of people are going to binge watch. I think.
I would think so if they just released it all at one time.
And they're just trying. I think their biggest thing is trying to make themselves different than everyone else, and they're the only ones really doing that. I think. I don't know.
As far as I know, I don't really see.
Like Hulu has their own original programming, and Yahoo has their own original programming, but I think they still do it on some type of schedule, like a week, every Thursday or whatever it is. But yeah, Netflix, it's just the entire season.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And their content is awesome. Like House of Cards won all those Emmys, I think it was.
Whatever. Yeah,
and Unbreakable, Kimmy Schmidt, all their original programming is really good.
Yeah.
So they probably could do well if they released it week by week. But I think it's just so different from their entire business model that they're just like, our fans are used to this. They're used to binge watching. We're just gonna let them do it. But yeah, and you were saying like money, financial wise, like they can use the revenue from a previous episode to fund the next episode. But
it depends. I mean, it depends on how they create it, because like like those weekly shows, usually they're taped maybe like a week in advance or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
But you can use that money to fund the next one, and then use the next,
or the one after the next, or something like that.
Yeah, because if you release it the entire time, you spend all your money up front, and it's because then what happens if the show fails?
Yeah,
and you're like, oh great, we made 13 episodes. And we made nothing back. We lost a lot of money on this because nobody watched it.
And I don't think it's happened to them yet, but they are. Like, with the popularity of these shows, they're releasing a lot more. Last week, we talked about all the Marvel ones that they're doing. But I'm sure they have other ones in the work, like a drama or like a science fiction one that they're planning to do. And who knows, one might not, or a few of them might not hit, and they might have to rethink the model. Because
one thing that I think is a possibility happening is if they keep releasing in that model, what you might see like a Netflix basic, which is you get all the old content, and then if you want the new content like in a bulk like that, they'll charge you a little bit extra. Like they'll maybe charge you a couple extra bucks per month, or they'll charge you for an entire series maybe.
And it's tough. I know. I mean, Netflix has had some troubles whenever they try to restructure their payment plans.
Because people are afraid to change. They're like, hey, wait a second, I've been paying $8, 10 or 11 or whatever it is bucks a month. Now all of a sudden it's $12. You're like, hold on a second,
why change?
Why'd you change it on me?
But I think for the moment it's working for them, because I think they're making so much money as it is anyway. Yeah. But
we'll see what happens when they start getting bigger and bigger. Because they're big now, but I still think there's lots of they're not the multi-billion-dollar company that movie producers are and like television studios are yet.
But
they're getting there.
They're getting there, because this new,
and they will get there. I mean, that's a
there's no sign of them slowing down or stopping, because if their future content is if it's indicated at all by this new Daredevil series, it's amazing. I really like it. The characters are all good. The writing is.
Well, but it sounds like they teamed up with Marvel, though. So I mean, so they already had like an established good storytelling group. Mm-hmm. So I wonder, what I'm kind of curious is, I wonder how much influence Netflix had. I mean, I wonder if they just
bankrolled it.
If they just paid for it and said, "All right, Marvel, make us a Daredevil series,"
and that's fine too.
Yeah, so, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, that's what you do. Yeah, that would be the ideally what you'd want to do is you want to get the people who create it and be like, hey, you guys, could you guys please make this for us? We'll pay you money.
You guys are good at making money. Here's some money to make to make us some money.
And we'll give you money. We get money. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, so that's probably what they did. I assume. I don't know about the production history of the show and everything, but that's what I assume. And so that's good with Marvel doing that and their other stuff. I think the other ones are going to be good too. Yeah. Based on this, it's much more darker, gritty, much more violent. Like kids aren't supposed to be watching this show. It is like bullets in the head, and you see blood splatter and stuff and massively beating on people's faces. A lot of head punching in this show, and but it's good. Did you ever see the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie?
Yes, I did. Okay. I don't really remember it too well, but.
It's a lot better. It's much more memorable, I think. So I would say at some point I would check it out. It's really good.
If I ever get around to getting into that, because unfortunately with those, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Yeah. I'm like that's because I've found several content creators that make stuff on a really fairly regular basis.
Yeah, that keeps you interested. Yeah,
and so that's what I watch because it's I end up spending hours upon hours. I'll put up YouTube videos and I'll put up my 3DS or whatever, or work on homework or something like that.
And even if you don't, if your usual subscriptions people aren't have anything new so far, just click on the right, the related stuff, and you might find something.
You'll find other similar YouTube channels that have more content you like. I mean, it'd be. Like there's, like some of the longest times I spent on YouTube have just been going through those similar, and I just go click. Yeah, it's like oddly enough looking for like stupid stuff on game shows. That always is just a rabbit hole where you just like keep going further and further and further in, and you're like, I can't stop binge watching.
That's a whole episode.
People making racist jokes in game shows.
Yeah, that and because we'll
have to do I guess YouTube habits or whatever.
Yeah,
we'll
like
have to look up some
rabbit
stuff.
Holes. I mean, like internet rabbit holes, because there are a bunch, and like the one that just off the top of my head, like it's one of those sappy things that kind of brings a tear to your eye. But like if you ever see like people like hearing for the first time, like they put like those hearing implants in, and they hear their loved ones for the first time. I can watch those forever. It's kind of and cat videos.
Cat videos.
But yeah, we definitely do an episode like that. Just come up with a bunch of them, and then we'll put links so all of our listeners will just waste their entire lives on YouTube.
Yes.
Wait, maybe not wasting. It's fun. It's good. I think it's good. We'll put some inspiring videos on there as well, saving animals and things like that. But
all right, so I guess let's see how to segue this. Okay. All right, so speaking of content, there's possibility that you can watch. I don't know if you can, but you might be able to watch content on the new device that came out this week called the iWatch or whatever it is.
I don't know.
I would assume they probably have some sort of app for that. I don't know. Eventually they will. I don't think you'd really want to watch videos on your watch.
I know. I saw like videos of pictures. I know they could slide through pictures and zoom and stuff on pictures.
Because I really would not want to watch video on a small watch.
That's tough. Especially because, I mean, at least with Apple, the watch, I think you have to have your iPhone on you or near you.
Yeah, you'd have it like in your pocket or whatever.
So, like, I would rather just watch it
on the phone.
If anything, on my phone. Yeah.
But with the watch, you could be driving. You could be sitting there watching your watch.
Exactly.
And no, it's not that car. All right.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, you're watching, I don't know, like Real World or something like that. You're like, oh, that bitch.
I hate her, but I can't stop. I don't want her to.
Why am I watching this show?
As you're just plowing through like stop signs and all this stuff in front of you.
But yeah, I mean. Apparently that's big. I don't know. I'm not big Apple product fan. I mean, the only thing that I really like of this are their MacBook Pros, but the only reason I'd ever buy one is for Final Cut, which now Premiere Pro is pretty much
just as good.
It's just as good, if not more preferred nowadays. So it's like, all right, well, I don't really have a reason for ever buying an Apple product.
I mean, I've never been actively opposed to it. Like I know,
I'm not against them,
but I've never had any of their stuff. Like I've no, never any of their Apple. At school, at like in college, I used some of their, like one of our computer labs were all Macs.
Oh, I mean, through college, that's pretty much at school. That's all we ever used. I mean, because for media production and stuff. I mean, for the longest time, Final Cut Pro and the whatever software else came with it, like Motion and stuff like that, was kind of like the standard at the time. Where nowadays, Adobe really hit it with like their online stuff like that. So now that's becoming more of the standard. But I mean, for me though, it's just they're so expensive. You know?
That's the
because
thing.
you look at the specs and stuff like that, and then I go look over at PC parts, and I'm like, I could make a computer with the same specs
for less,
for like
less.
half the price, like at least like maybe even lower depending on what it is. But you're paying for, I hate to say it, I mean, a hipster brand. I mean, that's
paying.
It's a status symbol. It's like buying like your fancy cars and stuff like that, where you're like, well, it still does the same things that those cheapo cars does, but it looks nicer
and it has a fancy logo.
And people are like, ooh, you got fancy car, because everybody just says it's fancy. So apparently, high status and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's I think what you're paying for. And the other big thing is why I'm not PC why I'm not Apple is because I grew up with PC.
Sure.
Like everything I've had, so whenever I jumped to like MP3 players, MP3 was like my first portable thing. I picked the Zune. Because it was Windows based, and so it's just like, I mean, I have a Windows computer, so that would probably be easy just to sync with that. And I mean, it was, but I mean, it didn't do well. The Zune didn't do well. But
they didn't advertise like Apple did. So I mean, that was on them.
But I liked it. Mine got stolen. It was in my backpack, which got stolen. So I was bummed about that. But I probably still would have been using it in some capacity because I had like a dock and everything for it, so I could just put it on that and sync my music to it and play through little speakers in my room. So when I jumped into like a phone, I picked a like Android. Or I didn't go Windows Phone because I don't think it was out whenever I was getting. I picked Android just because I didn't have anything Apple, so I was like, why do I want that?
That was the reason I went with Android too. Is because it's one of those because it's like I don't want to open, because unfortunately it's one of those if I buy an iPhone. If I ever want to pay for anything on that iPhone, I will then have to keep buying new iPhones. Like I can't sit there and buy an iPhone and then go, oh, let me go buy a Google, let me go buy an Android phone, and then I'm like, oh no, my content is now gone. All the digital content is Apple only, and that's why I went with Android, because there's a lot more Android phones than there are.
And
iPhones.
A lot of the stuff is third-party stuff, so like through Google, like through Chrome and stuff like that, all your stuff's backed up onto that.
Yeah.
So whatever phone you get, as long as it has Gmail on it, it's some app environment.
It's one of those, for phones, I would argue probably Android is the better idea. But for tablets, however, I have an Android tablet, but I think probably the iPad is better, because I think the support for iPad, like there's better apps and stuff like that. Like you can find equivalent apps on Androids, but
not as good.
They do similar stuff, but the iPad apps are going to be better.
Well, I mean that comes with the how they do their apps, right? Because you can't just third-party apps can't just release onto.
There's a
vetting process.
Yeah, Apple goes through and they kind of check and they go, okay, is this a? I mean, I think a few apps gets through that aren't up to high quality, but I mean there's just more money put into apps on Apple. I mean, because people make more money off of it, I think, than Android.
I agree. I've always heard that with the iPads and tablets and stuff like that. Apple's the way to go on that. I picked just a regular Windows one just because it had full Windows on it.
Yeah.
And and I'm used to that. So
yes,
yeah. So that's why, and it had Microsoft Word and all that.
Because
So
at the time, when I bought my first tablet, I was wanting a full Windows tablet, and unfortunately, the full Windows tablet were super expensive at that time, and so I bought just an Android tablet, and then. I was kind of disappointed where I'm like, this is just like my phone, but just bigger. And then unfortunately, they didn't have apps that were really designed for tablets at the time. Like it was still kind of when they were
just bigger phone.
It was just it was literally just the phone apps.
Oh,
and they just made it to full screen. So you're just like, oh, this is awkward. It's like this is obviously for a phone and not for a tablet. So, I mean, it's kind of hit and miss on the apps, because that was the biggest thing for a while, was just like for tablets, it's just, for Android tablets, just finding tablet apps. You saw a lot of phone apps, but you're like, no, I want apps designed for a tablet, not for a phone. Because that's what I have,
yeah.
But yeah, back to the watch, though. I mean, I don't understand the point of it.
Me neither. I see there's some points to it, but... Watches they've been irrelevant for so long. Like, they've been a luxury item.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean,
maybe just for me, then.
Yeah, for us. I mean, like, the only time I really used to wear watches was back when I worked at, like, Six Flags. I used to wear a watch because it was a little bit more important to keep track of time and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
This was kind of before, cell phones and stuff. And plus, they had a very specific rule of, you can't pull out your cell phone. If you pull out your cell phone... the supervisor could take it or whatever, and so you're just like, all right, let me just get a watch, and then I can watch time that way.
Know the time that way, yeah. I guess if there's some need to know the time at all times.
Yeah, if it's important, a watch.
I mean, for me, for the longest time, I haven't needed to know that. If I really needed to know the time, I have my phone with me, but I mean, I can't even remember the last time I needed a watch. There's TokyoFlash.com has these like really weird LED type watches that I got just because they looked cool.
Okay.
But they were kind of hard to read, so I never really knew what time it was anyway. Like I'd have to do some calculation in my mind because it had like
military time.
Well, no, it only had like 3 lights, and then like 3 lights and maybe like a bar or something weird. And like you're supposed to decipher the time from that.
Yeah.
So I had one of those just because it looked cool and it was kind of like a conversation kind of started. Like, oh, what's that? And I'm like, oh, that's my watch. And then I push the button and it lights up. So I had those, but like an actual watch was like maybe middle school. At like for some week or so, like watches were in. So all the cool kids had watches. So I was like, oh, I got this watch at like the Walmart, and it looked cool because it was metal and stuff, but. I was just like, whatever. But ever since then, I haven't needed a watch. So it's kind of just so weird for me now to think I want to watch.
Well, for me, what just kind of drives me nuts with all the smart watches or whatever is the fact that you need a phone. You're like, that kind of, in my mind, why? You're like, all right, so I need a phone in order for the watch to do anything? You're like, that...
Yeah.
Why? If it were like a smart computer on its own, it could do its own stuff... Then I might be a little bit more interested in it because that would be a little bit more convenient than But I don't even really use my phone that often anyway. So for me, it wouldn't.
The only thing that I can think of using it for is notifications, and we've said that before. Just like get a little vibration on my wrist, and then I'd be like, oh, there, I just got a text message. It's from.
It'll show you
blah, blah, blah.
It'll say maybe it'll say who sent it, and then maybe like the first couple of words, so you can so like if like in San Antonio where you can't you're not allowed to pull out your phone while you're driving. You check your watch real quick. Oh crap! It's an emergency, and you pull over to the side real quick, and then you pull out your phone
as a quick way for like hands-free. Hands-free.
If you could talk to it and it could talk to your phone, that would be amazing. If they ever come up with that, I would highly consider getting one because that would be really cool. You have your phone or whatever, you set your watch and you talk into your watch. You're going to look like a damn idiot doing it, but you're like Dick Tracy crap. You're like you're smart.
Getting into sci-fi territory, which would be cool. Like if you could do that, but still, I don't really do things. I'm not. I guess I'm not the person. I'm definitely not the person for this technology.
I'm not either. So
now it's Apple Watch is nothing more to me than just like a novelty.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely see that.
Like,
I mean,
an
expensive one.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. It's like, oh, I'm going to pay however much for...
It's like, what, $200 for the watch, and then you're like, okay, well, the watch does nothing without the phone, so that's another, what, $200, $300 bucks, and then you have to pay for the service, which is another, you know, what, $15 a month is the minimum, so you're like, great, now your stupid watch just costs like $600.
My heartbeat monitor freaking...
But you look at, you know, every 2 seconds, and then you probably even forget that it's there and just pull out the phone anyway. So you're sitting there, if you're looking at your phone, did it freak out again?
Oh no, that's just a very current program.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, good. So sorry, we thought we had an issue with our recording, but
wait 1 second. It stopped. Stopped recording at that.
It's not happy today.
Oh, it stopped. All right, we'll get this. None of you will hear any of this.
Except for maybe YouTubers, if we decide to put it on there. Or probably not. Because it's a lot of us are sitting there going, what the hell's going on?
Okay, you were saying...
I was talking about it being pointless.
Okay.
So,
yeah, just start talking. I'll get it. With the 3 files we have.
All right, so this is going to be fun.
That's very good.
All right, so 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so, you know, your watch is kind of, you know, it's kind of pointless. Because, I mean, you know, heck, I mean... For a while, if you're not used to it, they'll probably just pull out their phone, just look at their phone, forget they even have the watch, you know, forget the purpose of it.
Yeah.
You look at it and you're trying to get the time, and you're like, well, it's on Facebook app. You're like, well, that's not useful for me, and then you try to mess with it, try to get the time. You're like, I can't figure out how to get the time on this thing. You know, it's a watch. That's what watches are supposed to do.
Yeah, its main purpose is that. Yeah, I don't know. It's right now, like I said, it's just so weird of a concept to me that I don't see its importance. Like, there's some accessories that I'm just like, I mean, I don't know if I really want to buy that, but I understand its need for it. For what I use my phone for, I don't need a second screen to know stuff about it.
Not one that small, anyway. I mean, what are you going to do with it? I mean, there's only, you know, because, like, for me, I already have enough time poking stuff on my phone. Now, all of a sudden, the screen's, you know, a fifth of the size of it. It's like, I'm not going to be able to accurately do anything with that.
I guess I for some people, I mean, there's all different types of folks out there that could use it or have too much money.
You get the people who are just like, I want it because it's cool, it's a new thing, and it's Apple.
It has an Apple on it.
If it's Apple, I must buy.
Exactly, yeah. And
then I'll buy the new one that comes out 6 months from now.
And I heard they're doing a weird thing with how you buy it too, right? Like
it's only online, is what I heard.
Okay, so
they're doing just online orders. They're not doing the store rush.
You can see it in the store, but you can't actually buy it there, or do they?
I don't know about. I didn't look into it far enough, but you know, all I heard was that
I would think there is some place you can actually put your hands on it.
I would think probably Apple stores you could go in and you could play with it. If they don't, I would be surprised because that seems. Yeah, pretty. You know, that seems kind of weird that they do it that way.
Buying shoes online, it's kind of just like a weird.
Yeah, that's always
guessing game, unless you know the shoe or whatnot. But yeah, so I don't know. It's
not for us.
It's definitely not. Definitely not.
Simply not for us. I mean, maybe later, like if it shoots a laser or something, I maybe consider.
There's a laser pointer on it.
There we go. You're like, no, what do you mean? This is just a watch. Like, what do you mean laser pointer? It's like, what do you mean? There's the lens on it. I don't know what that is. That's the camera. Yeah, it's like, what do you mean?
I wasn't taking pictures of you or anything. But yeah, so I don't know.
So I see the Google Glass being more useful than the watches.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I definitely see those
of more use. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
That I agree with. But still, that's still kind of out there for me.
See, because the thing is, though, why do we have to put computers on everything? You know, that's we've dealt without it for a while. We don't need everything to have computers. I mean, like you've seen, like they even have refrigerators with like tablets on the doors and stuff.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
it's like so you could get your little apps or your refrigerator. It's like
that. Yeah,
I have a phone for that. You know, I already have a device for this. Why do I need everything to have a little computer? You know, is our silverware going to start having computers in it? You know, while you're eating, you're watching a YouTube video on your fork. You know, very small screen, but you're just sitting there like.
It's like I had to get the Apple iFork.
The iSpork. Like, yeah.
I forked over money for the iFork. Yes, I think that's where it's going. I think a lot of things are just going to get more and more connected. Like shoes are gonna have like little things on it. So
they already do.
Yeah, like,
they already have little computer chips.
More common, and like coats are gonna have it, hats are gonna have it, like all kinds of weird stuff. Maybe I don't know.
The only thing I'd ever want is a hat. If it had like a little, like a flat layer and then like a little screen, that would be kick ass. Also, it's just like it just drops. And you're like, hey, I can watch my TV on my hat.
I'd really almost thought about like making like a thing to hold my phone on my hat.
Oh, they
like I didn't want to buy it, but I was just like I think it would be cool, but
you'd look like an idiot.
I'd look like an idiot, but I would never.
You're like, screw you! I'm entertained. You're not. So suck it. You know.
I would never really use it in front of people. Like I would just.
I'll know just sitting there on the bus. You're like everybody thinks you look weird. It's like whatever. You know. You look stupid with your iWatches and your Bluetooth headset. So it's like why can't I wear my phone on my hat?
Yeah.
You know.
I agree.
I don't. Hey, I'm not having to hold it up.
People are still
you're
doing
sitting
the
there
same
hunched over, and I'm just sitting here leaning back. Just watching my.
Yeah, no.
hat or whatever you want to call it.
The J hat. I will invent it.
J hat.
I'm sure there's already things like that.
No, I get. Yeah, probably Google search phone on hat or something like that, and probably somebody's clipped their phone to their hat.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's a thing on your head.
Yeah. The hat that I'm wearing right now might be a little close, but maybe not. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. That's.
We will patent it, and we will build it, and we will have it on sale next week.
We still, check out.
It'll just be like clothespins and like a
duct tape,
clothes hanger and some duct tape. We're like, done.
Perfect.
$400. We'll stick a stupid logo on it. Be like, this is a high quality product.
Yeah, it's a top pod product. But let's see, we've gone about an hour. So, anything else you'd like to say? Anything that you've seen or played recently that you'd like to recommend, just as we end?
Not really, because really. The big game that comes out this week is Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PC, like the third, like they made the 360 and Xbox, and they did the PS4 and stuff like that. Like, that's coming out. Mm-hmm. We'll probably talk about it a little bit more next week when I get a little bit more information, but it's supposed to have a really fancy movie editor.
Okay.
Because I definitely plan to once I upgrade my computer, because I could probably do it on the computer I have now, but it's more of the recording and actually editing and stuff like that. There's probably not as much I could do on my computer now. Well, because I'm pretty close to getting ready to start procuring parts for my new computer.
Nice.
I'm still waiting. I think I'll start buying parts, but I want to wait. I want to time it so I can start building it. About a month from now.
Yeah.
That's when I want to start building it. Hopefully, it's in theory, because I want to wait till I get into summer, so I'm not taking classes, and I'll have lots of time to configure it and all that good stuff and play, and then start capturing footage and stuff. Because that's kind of the idea. Is I want to capture a lot more video game footage and start playing around with editing and see what I can do with it.
It's always seemed like something I wanted to do as well. So I think that would be really fun. Capturing gameplay footage, I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah,
I've always. I don't know. I don't know if it's slightly egotistical, but I'm like, people need to see my work. People need to see what I do.
If I'm going to do it, I'm going to make stupid videos out of it. I'm not just going to be like, oh, hey, here's me doing a Let's Play. I'm like, no, here's like highlight reels of us doing stupid shit.
Just failing a lot all over the place. Yeah, I agree.
And I would do like some like the highly edited videos is what I want to do with video game stuff. I mean, it's just, first I've just got to get some footage and start just throwing it,
playing around with it.
Seeing what I can do with it, learning, because I haven't really hardcore edited in a while, so it'll take me a little while to get something that I'm content with. But let's learn After Effects. I definitely want to learn After Effects, so that's probably going to be one of the more useful programs to know with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So good. And for me, we've already talked about Daredevil and Game of Thrones. Definitely watch those. Silicon Valley is coming out tonight. Or is this tonight as in today, Sunday, or tonight as in Monday tonight? Today's as of recording it, Sunday. So Monday it'll already be out. So I'm gonna watch that, and I think it's gonna be. I really like the first season about nerdy programmers. And
I may have to check that out. I mean, that's eventually if I ever get around to watching TV. Yeah, that's my. I'm too busy watching YouTube videos. So. Yeah, well, there's so much on YouTube. Just type in cat videos and you'll be entertained. Yeah. Like I said, we have that rabbit hole episode that we're gonna do. We'll try to figure something out for that. That sounds like that'd be a real fun episode for us to do. So we'll find stupid like videos millions of different videos.
Exactly. But yeah, so that's going to be our episode 59.
59. One less than 60.
One less than 60.
That's your math lesson for the day, subtraction.
I don't want to be a spoiler, but I think next episode might surprise you. It might be
something new. I don't know.
A new number. Who knows? But definitely check out our Facebook. Make sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm getting backlogged on videos again.
It happens.
It's just I get a urge just to edit videos, and I do like 10 in a week, and then I just
that sounds like pretty much how every little project like this goes.
Exactly.
You're like, I don't want to do it for a while, and then you're like, I want to do it, and then you're like, all right, now I'm bored.
I think I'm up to 51, so maybe once we get to like 61, I'll jump back in gear and just make it. But
it'll eventually get there.
But all the audio versions of everything is every Monday, thinkingoutsidethepod.com or on iTunes or Stitcher or anywhere podcasts are found. You'll be able to find the most recent one on there right away. So, but yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week.
Thanks for watching our video, guys.
Before you leave, don't forget to rate and subscribe so you'll be informed for all of our future updates.
Make sure you visit our social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, or visit the website, thinkingoutsidethepod.com. All the links will be in the description below.